One. Well, there's a lot of people here already. I didn't even have time to prepare my coffee today.
Steady, Santi.
I'm not steady. Just I need to prepare coffee for the brew, man.
Man. Oh my god. Today's going to be a spicy brew, man. Get your coffee.
Yeah, that's why it's going to be an intense conversation. I'm sure that there's a lot of people here in the audience that will contribute to the conversation. At least that's what I expect, because we will be talking today about the DAO proposals and what should be the limitations of them. How far should the DAO go, and what's the actual power of the DAO? And we prepared some questions, some spicy ones, some like more relaxed ones. But we want to discuss all of them with you guys. But before that, welcome to the Atlas Brew 58. I'm here as always with my two co-hosts, Dominic Bain. How are you, sir?
Doing really damn good. Today's gonna be a good day. Today's gonna be a good brew. It's been a pretty eventful week. Some spicy discussion over the last week that has always been fun. Excited to get this brew started though. Hope everyone's been having a good day.
It's been an interesting weekend for sure. Jose, how are you, man?
Man, yeah, epic week. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling inspired. And today's politics brew, right? So, yeah, this is my happy place inside Star Atlas. So, I'm excited for today's conversation.
Yes, this is Jose's realm, guys. You know, the DAO, politics. So, Jose, I bet you have some ideas for today, for sure.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. So yeah, guys, as always, this is open mic. So you just need to set up push to talk. And we appreciate anyone who's part of the conversation, who wants to share ideas and everything. So that's always open for you guys. We also read the chat. The chat that we use is the one called Atlas Brew, the Atlas Brew. So it's two tabs above. So you see voice chat, Atlas Amphitheater, Town Hall, and the Atlas Brew. And yeah, that's the one we will be reading during the brew. So, are you ready to get started, guys? We can start with some news.
Oh, we have news. We better get started.
Yeah. Let's get started, guys. So a couple news. As you know, Pablo is no longer with the Stratlas team, and what we can comment is what is in announcements. So if you're curious about it, just go and read announcements. So just to go to that. Then let's move to the next one. We have the claim stakes and Litzman. Dominic, what are the details on that one?
Yeah, so finally, people have been waiting. I've been waiting myself because I've been really excited to get my claim stakes out there working for me. But claim stakes enlistment should be today, everybody. Today. You'll be able to go to play.staratlas.com and list your claim stakes, get rewards. So today, I'm super excited. Should be an announcement very, very soon. Hopefully within during the brew.
Did you get this confirmed by the social media team, or is this a brew leak?
Right, this is a brew league. This is a brew league, ladies and gentlemen. This is brew league.
No one say anything.
Oh,
let the team
oh my god.
Okay, well, if you say anything, just tag Dominic. It was him, guys.
Yeah, it was Dominic.
Throw him under the bus.
But yeah, you'll be able to enlist your claim stakes today. Get your 4Rs. It's gonna be a good time. I'm really excited.
Nice. Okay, so we start like that. Awesome. Let's go to the next one. Another thing that we wanted to share here with you is that we have the core final episode of this act on the 19th, and then there's going to be a break for core, and we're coming back in July for the act number 2.
Longer version. I think they said it was like 25 pages or something. So this is gonna be a good episode. So if you've been reading along with core, look forward to some more content in this newest episode. I'm really looking excited. I can't speak. Oh my god,
Yeah,
I'm excited for it.
it's excitement, bro. It's excitement. You just leaking the alpha, you know.
Yeah.
Um, gotta be careful with it, you know.
Yeah,
That's what it
keep
is.
it steady.
Yeah, keep it steady, Dom. Keep it steady, bro. Then we are happy for Atlas Grace because they received a great donation after the spaces that we hosted. I think it was yesterday, right?
Yes.
There's too much going on. Yesterday, so we had an spaces yesterday with Atlas Grace, with Road to 100, um, also with Stardust Economy, and these guys are leading the way when it comes to charity at Star Atlas, which is awesome. So these guys are always like just brainstorming how they can have an impact using the Star Atlas Economy to do better for the world. And Archetype was sharing yesterday how much, like, only $5 can change the life of someone. For example, in a place like Cambodia, a meal in Cambodia could be 50 cents or $1. So just by donating to Atlas Grace, you are impacting directly on those people. And sometimes, guys, if you want to just contribute, like there's no amount that is like, don't feel if you don't donate like $200, you are not making a change, because any penny can actually have an impact in someone living in a less favorable situation, basically.
Yeah, guys, this
Yeah.
is super important.
Archetype has
I
my full trust. Yeah. Sorry, Jose. Go for it.
yeah, no problem, friend. I feel that everyone who is here right now is super blessed. Um, we are here discussing the future of the metaverse, something that's being built right now on real time, where there are other people in the world that have no security in terms of finding food sources every day. You know, they are not sure that they'll get a hot meal on a daily basis. So I think I don't know, I think it's only natural that we that stand in this position, we that are human beings that, you know, are part of a great community, that we do something to help other people. And this is something that I didn't share before, but one of the biggest things that we want to do with the DAC platform and the universe of Sage and etc. is create frameworks and structures that allow people to pool in resources and, for example, get people ships for free inside Star Atlas, so the people in underdevelopment countries can start playing Star Atlas for free, getting an income, and engaging in metaverse activities and getting integrated with our economy. So yeah, we are looking forward to bring solutions. I think everyone else that can should strive to make a difference, and this the good that you do only come back at you. I 100% believe in this, and hopefully we can get this spirit to grow inside our community and keep developing good stuff and helping people. Just sending the message here.
Yeah, this is what it's all about, man. This is what it's all about. Star Atlas is all about opportunities and what you make of it, and Archetype and Atlas Grace is doing just that. So, yeah, Archetype has my full trust. This guy has been making graphics, videos, edits for everyone in the community for a while, and doesn't ask for anything. If it's insane, it's insane. Archetype really does have my trust. So, if you want to help people in Cambodia and you want to put your money towards someone who's really going to make a change, yeah, atlasgrace.soul.
Yeah, and what is great is that he's also like managing the wallet in a way where he's compounding the interest and reinvesting and stuff like that, and just making it grow using the Star Atlas economy basically, which is incredible. Like, it's an incredible use case. I think it's one of the best use cases we have for the current Star Atlas economy. So we just posted in the chat. If you want to donate, it's atlasgrace.sol. And again, like, making an impact on a place like Cambodia, it's only $1. So just feel free to contribute in any way you can. If you can, if you don't, that's okay. You can go and just retweet, which is also totally fine. So yeah, we love your archetype. Thank you for doing things like that. Also, shout out to everyone else, like Venom from site, like Stardust Economy. They are doing a great job, and it's just beautiful to see. Cool. Let's move to the next one. The next one is just a small, very small leak that we have from ground racing that I posted from my account. I know, Dom, if you have the link, but it's a cool little video, and as you see there, like we are ready to challenge you guys. Like, Dom, how confident you are that we can beat anyone here that is listening right now?
100% confident. Like actually, 10 out of 10 times they're getting stomped. So 100%
Guys,
confident.
you're going to get wrecked. Like, just enjoy this moment when there's like no ground race or anything, because you're going to be crying once this is out, guys. You're going to be crying. Can we win one, please? That's what you are going to be saying to me and Dom, guys. So we are down to 2v2 anyone here. We're super confident. Once this is out, you guys better be ready. That's
Yeah,
how we're going to play.
you can schedule us for February 32nd.
Very 30-second, guys. Exactly. Oh man.
Oh man,
Yeah, just a little tease there.
it's funny because you guys are so bad, man.
No way you just said that.
Man, there's no way. Just
All right,
ah,
moving
don't
on.
get me started. Don't get me started. Yeah. Okay. We also wanted to congratulate the hologram. Congrats, hologram! You guys, they reached 1,500 followers, which is no small accomplishment. So, congratulations, hologram.
Yeah, 1,500 followers, and they're really rapidly rising as everyone's go-to source for news and things like that. I mean,
Yeah, at
it's not
this point they
surprising.
have better sources than me, honestly. So,
Yeah.
oh, man, that's awesome. So, congratulations, hologram. Another one. It's the new update from Red Spatula. Dom, you have been testing that one, right?
Yes, this is so cool. Yes. Okay, so guys, if you go to redspatula.io and you go to Star Atlas Fleet, you can put in your public wallet address. You don't have to connect to do anything like that. It's safe. And you can see all the rewards that you've gained since enlisting your ship and faction fleet. So it's awesome stuff, actually. It was really cool to see the ships that I enlisted back, I don't even know, in December of 2021 and how much Atlas it's earned me so far. So it's been nice.
Yeah, it's an awesome tool, and especially like there's no wallet connection needed, nothing. Just paste your public key, and you'll get all the information. It's always good to have like a different way to see how your fleets are performing and all the stats. I
Yeah,
love
I
that.
love
So,
stat. Yeah, stats are sick. Yeah. Really,
great
really
tool.
appreciate Red Spatula. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome tool. Cool. I think that's all the noteworthy news that I can think of right now, at least, and that we have here, of course. Anything else, Jose or Dom, before we move to the main topic?
Oh, I think we are good.
We're good? Okay. So let's move to the main topic for today, guys. The main topic for today is the DAO. We're going to talk politics. This is the Politics Brew. And today we're going to talk about what should be the limitations of the DAO. As you know, the Atlas DAO, um, which will be controlled by you by just locking your polis. You will get your polis voting power, and you will be able to put proposals in, vote for proposals, and more. And with those proposals, you will be basically helping shape the future of Star Atlas and where the game development should go, and a lot more things. So what we want to get into today is what should be the limits of those proposals, right? Where should we draw the line? Okay, the DAO shouldn't do this, because as we know, the DAO is probably one of the most powerful things in Star Atlas, right, Jose?
Yes, Santi. And any power needs a balance, right? And the discussion about the limits of the police DAO is also the discussion about the limits between the the collective interest and individual rights, right? So this is the kind of conversation that we want to spark with you guys today, and we came up with some questions to guide the conversation regarding where, like the various topics that those two interests can get in touch. Like, for example, one of them that we were thinking about discussing with you guys today is about game design, right? So, for example, should the DAO be involved in game design discussions like nerfing and open ship? What do you guys think about it, Dominic and Santi?
Yeah, that's actually very interesting. Like that's one of the limitations that I can think about when it comes to the DAO, right? Like what should be like should they actually be involved in the game design conversation, or should that information not reach the DAO and just let that be decided by the game designers basically? For example, we have a ground racing, I don't know, and there's a ship that is clearly to meta, right? Like the Pierce X4 is just crushing every other ship, so it clearly needs to be nerfed. Should that be voted by the DAO, or should that be a game design decision? We are reading the chat, the Atlas Brew chat, and
For me, I have an opinion on this only because I've played an ungodly amount of League of Legends, and anyone who's played League of Legends knows there's hundreds of champions, and every patch there's a new broken champion that just seems to dominate the game. There needs to be a way for the game design team to nerf buff ships that need it. I think it's a little more complicated in Star Atlas's case, but I think if the DAO handles it, I think the process would be too slow. I think it should probably just be handled by the game design team. So that's my vote.
And what do you think about, if not, let's say, it's not necessarily the DAO voting on everything, but should the DAO have representatives on the discussions about those subjects in some sense? Like as a side option to this situation? How do you guys feel about that?
can you repeat the question, Jose? Sorry, I
Yeah,
missed.
instead of having the DAO voting on game design stuff, should the DAO have a representative, like a community game designer, let's say like that
Oh,
would participate in the discussions about nerfing and things like that and represent the interests of the DAO?
that's
Hmm.
actually super interesting. Like a council, I see Carl Rose saying that Evanline has something similar.
Carlos or Carlos?
I have no idea, man. Carlos, Carlos. But yeah, we posted the poll also, guys, in the Atlas Brew chat. You can go and vote for what you prefer, if that should be ruled by the DAO or by just game design. Go to the Atlas Brew chat and vote in the poll. We always share all these results with the Star Atlas team, so make sure to get your boys in there. So yeah, I think that opens up like a whole different conversation also, Jose, because that would require maybe like a person being hired by the DAO, right?
Yeah, exactly. And this is actually another interesting topic that we can explore here. Like, should the DAO have a technical board, like people who specializes in game design and lots of different mechanics to oversee the Star Atlas metaverse or even build part of it? Or should it be just a overseeing and advisory and, let's say, less resource kind of power? This is a very interesting concept in terms of metagame, right? I'm not talking about in-game activities. I'm talking about real-world environment and things like that.
Having a board basically with like experts. That's what you're
Exactly.
saying.
I think it's
Exactly.
pros. You got to weigh the pros and cons, right? Like the DAO has limited amount of resources. They have to figure out how they best want to do that. I think it depends on if this is something that they deem worthy at that moment. I guess for me, like I feel like there's other things that are more worthy of capital and time. But if the DAO ever got to a point where they had excess cash and we just want to make better decisions overall, I think that would be a good decision to make. But I don't know if it should be like one of the first things. Just my opinion. Throwing it out
Yeah,
there.
Yeah,
yeah, this is cool.
I actually don't have an opinion formed on this one. We'll love to hear if someone from the community wants to speak. As always, guys, this is open mic, so feel free to get your opinion in here.
Well, I have a question. It's just about the balance between the items, right? That we're talking about now.
And ships.
Yeah, like game design. We can expand to game design as a whole.
hmm
Well, on as a whole, I think a DAO should have input. But if it's about unbalance between items or ships, then I think it's a game design flaw and it should be solved by the game designers. We don't have the data to back up our opinion. So unless Star Atlas is willing to share all the data that they collect, and the DAO can make a decision based on fact, then I think the DAO should have no input in those kind of flaws.
Interesting.
That's a good point.
And when you speak about, but because you say if it's like more general, yes. So
Yeah, in the bigger questions like should we expand with another region or another zone or whatever, maybe things like that. Yes.
yeah, exactly. And do you think that should be like a voting process? Like, should it be voted by the DAO, or should we have like that board of experts making the decision, and the board be voted by the DAO?
I think the DAO should be doing that. Like, I don't think you need a expert to ask an opinion, I would say.
That's interesting.
I kind of view
Interesting.
this as from like an advocate standpoint because once the game gets big enough, we've talked about this before, some voices tend to get lost. So, you know, a DAO, person representative can kind of go out into the community, get the feeling, get the feedback, and present those to the team. So you're not really trying to change balance, but you're saying, hey, everyone hates the Maiden Heart because it has stealth and it's just blowing people up and it's not fun. You can take that back and tell whoever's doing the game design balance, and they can decide how they want to fix that if they want to fix that.
Yeah, maybe that doesn't even need to be like a paid role, just someone that the community really trusts and that has a good communication ability, so they can have that connection with the team as well. Interesting, very interesting. Any comments, Dom, Jose?
No, I think this is pretty cool, and I think we can move on to something spicy now.
Yeah, let's go, Jose. Do you want to do it?
Yeah, one thing that we have been wondering about is that eventually the Star Atlas metaverse will belong to the DAO, right? The DAO will be the one making the moves about how the Star Atlas metaverse should develop at all. And one question that reason among ourselves and that we find interesting to chat with you guys is about the relationship of those who are developing the project and the DAO. Like, for example, do you guys think that the DAO should have reached to, I don't know, fire an employee of Automata out of the Star Atlas metaverse development or something like this? Would you
That's a
guys?
spicy.
Yeah, let's get spicy, huh? How
That's
do you guys feel about
Signal will
this?
fire everyone.
Oh my god.
Oh man. I'll create a poll. I want to see the poll. No, unless it's Dom, Barry said. Oh man.
I can see Star Atlas team members getting worried now, guys. I'm receiving DMs. Make the poll, Sanji.
I'm the voice
Yeah, I
anyway, bro.
think
But this is at the stage that the DAO is controlling the game and the ownership is fully from the DAO, right? Then yes, then you're the assigner and the DAO should have.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
wow.
think this is a time period question. I think until we get to the point where the game is handed off to the DAO, I don't think that decisions like that should be able to be made. But once the game is handed over to the DAO, yes, I think they should definitely have the authority to do that. But Yeah, I think it's just a time period question. That's just my opinion.
Guys, we need you to go vote on the Atlas Brew chat. It's tied right now.
Man, this is
It's tied
wild.
right now.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think the poll is a little weird, right? Because they should be able to, but like I said, I think it's just a time period question. So it's yes and no for me.
Bro, it's tied 10 and 10. Oh my god.
Man, this is a wild,
And now they are trolling.
voting.
Now they are trolling with the numbers.
Yeah, my
Oh,
God,
guys,
you
don't
guys
do
are
that.
such a
Oh
kid,
my
man.
god. Yeah.
Come on, you
Come
guys can have
on.
the power to fire us, man. You guys
That'd be
you guys
creative,
aren't
though.
mature enough to have this
Look,
much power.
look at how the numbers are moving right
Yeah,
now.
man. Yeah, man. Cancel those guys, Sanchi.
Yeah. You know what we should do? You should have Polish voting power to vote in those polls, from now on.
Oh
We
wow,
feel-
that would be wild.
We
Actually,
we filter them with Polish
Smart
voting power.
integration. Awesome.
that's actually a good question from Gazanor. Is we should be able to hire people too, though, not just. I mean, yes, you will be able to hire people, but that kind of brings a question to my mind: should the DAO be able to hire people before the game is given to the DAO? Because I don't think the DAO should be able to fire people before that, but should they be able to hire people?
Man, imagine that.
I
The
think that's
community team being
an
funded
interesting
by
one.
the DAO. This would be super interesting.
Yeah,
Things like that.
Lamborghini World Tour. Yeah.
Finally,
Yeah.
Dominic.
I have a suggestion.
I don't think you should fire. You should have a personal manhunt from the DAO on team members. It's more like the DAO is unhappy and the people responsible need to change, else they get fired or moved.
Yeah, Carl, go on, man.
What an
I love
interesting
this program.
conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was thinking that the DAO should be able to give directives to Automata. For example, we vote in and say Automata has to give us weekly updates. Things like that. I think would be like right in line.
Mm.
Should we put a poll for that? Like just those kinds of things. Like maybe we want roadmaps in a certain way, or things, or just slightly shaped differently. Because if the DAO is going to be the boss, but we don't want to be like the technical, we don't want to get into the technical details, right? Maybe just more reporting.
Awesome. Yeah, this is a possibility.
Yeah, DAO votes on the concept, and Ultima is responsible for delivering, basically.
I just created a poll if DAO should only focus on directives to the Automata team. Or if they should do more.
There's so many different opinions here. I saw Fury said we should be able to kick people with the DAO votes, but for Automata designers, it should be like 80% vote needed. I still think that I still think it's a timeline question where I don't think they should be able to do it until the game is given over to the DAO. Because I think Egonox said it, but I think it creates a little bit of a toxic work environment. So
people will be scared of the DAO, like workers.
I don't think the DAO wants Automata to be scared.
Man, imagine
of them.
that much power with Signal.
Kind of, yeah.
With Signal, man.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, Lord
we'd
have
all be
mercy.
screwed.
Yeah. Dominic would be fired every week and hired back just to be fired again.
Just to troll him. Yeah. So they just voted to only directives from the DAO to Automata. Also, the DAO it want that the DAO shouldn't hire people. The DAO shouldn't have the ability to hire people. And let me check the other one. And it also want that the DAO shouldn't have the ability to fire people. So no hiring, no firing, only directives to Automata. Do we all agree with that? Any thoughts?
Yeah, I like
super
Yeah,
dangerous thing. Like I saw some weird votes in Decentraland DAO and stuff like that, where like a few small groups like basically can wreak havoc on the DAO. So we have to be very careful, like what is allowed to do or not.
Yeah, but I think it's important also for the people to just at least brainstorm about this,
Yeah.
because it's interesting to understand how the DAO is also a separate entity. Is what Jan is saying right now in the chat. The DAO has to fire or hire people for the DAO only, but the DAO can't control another company, which is totally true. That's how it works from a legal standpoint, right? So, yeah, maybe the DAO, that it goes back to the previous question, which is maybe the DAO could hire people to develop specific things with bounties and stuff like that, like just a bounty to develop something, or
I'm
maybe
gonna,
even yeah.
Santi, I'm gonna say something that I might regret, but Jan is making a really good point that the DAO should be able to
No
hire
way.
people for the DAO, right? We're not gonna hire people for Automata, but it does make sense that the DAO would have its own employees, or else how the hell is it supposed to run?
Yeah, yeah. It's a very, very fair point. The DAO only controls the DAO, but can give quote unquote advice or directives to the automata. So that is actually great to to brainstorm.
I have changed my stance.
It made me laugh that Jan said that now he changed his stance.
Yeah. Guys, Santi and Dominic, I don't know. Maybe we can move into more game structure aspects of the politics of the DAO.
Yeah,
What do you
for
guys
sure.
think?
I think this was very interesting.
Yeah,
And I love like all the engagement in the polls and all that. Like we literally sent the screenshot of the polls to the Star Atlas team, guys. So
yeah, yeah. And I think this is at some, for me at least, because I'm very concerned about game structures. It might be even more spicy, and I don't know. It might have more influence on the game itself, because I feel that most of our lives inside Star Atlas will be relating with our activities inside a region, a star system inside the Star Atlas galaxy. And I wanted to discuss with you guys the limits of the power of governors and those regional DAOs. So, for example, as you guys know, the regional DAOs will be able to set up the rule of law inside your star system. Of course, they can be limited to some extent by the faction DAOs and the Star Atlas DAO, but I still believe that there will be lots of room for you to create your own realm inside the Star Atlas world if you have enough police. And the first question that I would like to use to start the conversation here is that this regional DAO, it will acquire taxes from the players that live there and create stuff inside your star system. So, should those DAOs be allowed to have an in-game army? And if yes, what should be the limits of using that DAO to enforce your own rules inside your star system?
exactly. Think of it as a government. Like it's like that. How it should be thought about. Should the DAO be able to do that? To have we're talking about it, like the monopoly of violence inside the game, in the safe zones or medium zones, if someone is breaking the Council of Peace laws. It's very interesting, actually. I actually have no stance on this. Like, I haven't been able to really think about it.
Yeah, like imagine you, let's say you are really into the mini flower, which is a substance in the Star Atlas metaverse that it's outlawed by the Council of Peace. You can't be caught uh, with that substance. It's illegal to do that. And you learn that someone with a territory inside your star system is storing this substance. Would you be allowed to use the NPC army of your region to embargo the operations of the player? Could we use the local governor forces to enforce rules inside your star system? This is the question that I want to have your guys' input on.
Reading the chat now. They say, yes, of course. local governors can do whatever they need to enforce their own rules.
Let's freaking go.
If you rule, you decide. Huh. Okay.
Awesome.
Let it run like wild, like the old west. The levers can be applied later. Okay.
Man, I love our community, man.
Yeah, it's interesting because they will need to control the market, you know.
Yeah.
And there are going to
And
be there's going to be supply and demand, and all those movements like any market.
and this opens up a lot of possibilities, right? Because this allows players to become dictators inside or their region, you know? They can create laws that make them nearly absolute kings in a sense, you know? So I really want to see this kind of mechanics
No way to say.
surfacing in Star Atlas, and man, it's going to be super fun.
Yeah, I think we're all thinking about the person as well. I'm reading the chat. Protecting space is amazing gameplay. Don't take that away from gamers. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
like
actually interesting. Yeah.
you can focus on just defending your own territory inside Star Atlas, right? You can organize the patrols, you can protect the Star Path gateway so trading can occur without pirates attacking you. You can keep everything working smoothly, talking with the claim stake owners, making sure everyone is happy and profiting, you know? I think this city building space galactical level of gameplay inside Star Atlas would be super fun, man. Like, I'm personally looking forward to this in the Star Atlas DAO, actually.
Yeah.
My only concern with this is like if some of the stuff's not NPC or automated, then how do you sleep, right? If your stuff is just open to attack 24/7 and you have to constantly man your defenses, is that something we want, or do we want something a little bit more automated as well, kind of like both things?
You can leave your armies to defend themselves when you are sleeping, you know? And if you really want to have management at every point, you can have players across multiple time zones checking stuff, you know? And that's actually how it happens in the real world, right? So yeah, I feel there will be a automated defense function for armies inside Star Atlas, but I'll be relying on players all across the world checking and keeping everything peaceful and safe,
I mean
in my opinion.
that's how it works right now in other games, right? Like even laying guilds, they have to be on like 24/7. They need to operate in multiple time zones.
Yeah, and I think it's better, you know, because it keeps everyone in their tools and it opens up the possibility of strategy and change, and it makes the game more immersive and intense, I guess.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. There's another question that we have, a simple one. So this is on bounties. Like, should the DAO be able to place bounties on players? Like if someone has been breaking the Council of Peace law and they escape to the high risk zone, should the DAO be able to place a bounty on them? Or should the bounties only be ruled by the players? Everyone is saying
Like,
yes.
should and should there be conditions, or should the, like, for example, if I'm the governor of a regional DAO and I simply don't like that player, could I be allowed to place bounties on them? You know, you just don't get inside my star system because it's under my political rule. What should be the limits here, or, you know, guidelines in some instance?
Yeah. I mean, and a bounty that comes from the DAO, it's probably going to be a lot bigger than a bounty coming from a player, right?
Oh, for sure.
Let's assume that.
Can I say
Yeah,
something about that?
sure,
Yeah.
friend.
So you were saying about, allowing people into your star system. I mean, if you become a dictator and you rule with an iron fist and don't let anyone in, there's no trade, there's no economy, and it will shrivel. There has to be a give and take somewhere, but I don't think that the DAO has the authority to enforce that. I mean, if that's what you want to do and you want to be a jerk and not let anyone in, I mean, they can't stop you. And, it's not smart for you, but that's your choice.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that even when we look at Star Atlas right now, we are looking without having our assets and our emotions linked with the gameplay for now, right? But I foresee that in the future, there will be lots of players that simply don't care about money. What they care about is having fun ruling a place inside the Stratos galaxy, you know? And those guys might even try to create an evil empire just to have fun. And it might make no logical sense to do that, but it will be so entertaining for them that they are going to try and come up with various ideas and strategies and infrastructures just to mess up the piece of the Stratos universe, you know? So I think there will be lots of content generated from this, and I think that the DAO working should comprehend this way of playing. I think it should allow players to go crazy, to become evil dictators, or to try to make their star system the best one in the galaxy, you know? I think we should have open doors for every type of gameplay style.
I think we need to be careful when we're talking about the DAO because top level DAO, it kind of needs to be neutral to the three factional DAOs, right? Like the factional DAOs can do whatever they want, but if the top level DAO is suddenly favoring Booster over Oni, isn't that like a real big problem? Shouldn't these kinds of things come from factional and regional DAOs?
Yeah, I was talking about regional DAOs for sure, for sure.
We need like a better name for it.
Yeah, everything's a DAO, right? So, so we need, yeah. I'll talk with the team and get some clarity on. Perhaps we start talking about regions. So let's get more intuitive.
Yeah,
Regions governance.
just let the DAO vote Usturs out of the Council of Peace. That's fine.
Man, imagine that.
Who cares about the robots? Just let them
Man,
out.
man, you know that Ustur is going to be the strongest faction inside the Star Atlas game, right?
Just
No,
this
for real, because the players that play Ustur, they are the most dedicated guys to the
No, we're not doing
community.
this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this.
Facts.
Move on.
Yeah,
Next.
not facts.
Next. I have a bounty on Jose's head, by the way. Starting now.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so the agreement that we reached, let me know if that's okay. The top level DAO shouldn't be involved at all in decisions like that, like on placing bounties and stuff like that. Just leave that to the regional DAOs. And Jose, faction DAOs, for example, should they also be able to put a bounty, for example? Like, could
Man,
could the Oni regional DAO, the Oni faction DAO, sorry, put a bounty on the biggest Ustur, like player?
man, I think that if something like that happens, it's going to be a major driven of political change in the Star Atlas universe. Like uh, a faction doing something is is something that's very powerful inside the Star Atlas metaverse because the factions. Sorry guys, there is a lot of noise here on my end. Give me a second.
No problem, Jose. I can't believe they're still doing some construction work in that
They
building.
are, man. I'm going crazy. Oh
Ah,
yeah, it stopped for a second. So yeah, the faction's going to be the most massive and powerful institutions inside Star Atlas, right? So, man, like a faction DAO would have like, I don't know, 20, 30 star systems under their jurisdiction, each one of them generating revenue for it every day. So whenever those guys do something, it will be something meaningful, like we are talking about millions and millions of police moving or resources or fleets whenever a faction does something. So I think the faction should be, the last resource in any kind of scenario inside Star Atlas. Only when things get very ugly or very intense should someone tap into the power of the faction DAOs. And it's going to be hard because you need lots of votes from everyone inside your faction to get the DAO to do something in any case. If a player or a group of players can actually tap into the faction power without needing others inside Star Atlas, I think that group will be very, very, very strong in any case scenario.
Yeah, for sure. You will have a lot of impact, of course. So I'm just going to tell my Onis now, get ready for placing bounties on Jose. We'll vote for that, guys. Jose is not going to be able to reach the high risk zone ever, guys.
Man, do you think that you guys can take me on? Come on, bro. Keep it
Yeah,
steady.
of course, man. Of course. Of course. Jose, you need to start preparing, bro. You need to
I'll
start.
live on the high risk zone, Santi. I don't need to be in the faction space.
There's no way, Jose. There's no way. Oh man. Cool. Um um let's get some questions from the community. We have a few more, but I know that you guys probably have a couple more spicy ones. So let's if you have like any questions that you would like to discuss right now, guys, just feel free to unmute or to post it in the chat. I saw one from Groove. He says when a DAO makes an in-game rule, is it automatically enforced? So the DAO will, this is how I look at it. Like the DAO will, the top level DAO, for example, will send a proposal on something that needs changed from game design, for example. And then game design from our team, for example, will recommend against that. That's how I see it happening. Or I'm not sure what you were referring with, like in-game rule. But that's at least how I look at it and how I think it works. Yeah. Let's see the chat.
What if the DAO, a regional DAO, put a tax on sales and things like that? That sales automatically or the tax is automatically collected.
Yeah, that would be the difference in my opinion. That should be automatically like enforced if in that region, if the regional DAO votes for it.
Okay, and if the regional DAO says no killing, can we still or no shooting like medium risk zone?
You can still do, but you'll be breaking the law, so there should be a penalty for you, like you become an outlaw or something like this. You
Yeah.
know?
Maybe
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
if
Yeah.
you kill once those rules are live, you probably get a bounty on your head or something like that.
Yeah, that's how I would really like it to be. I would really hate it for me to go into a place and you can't kill anyone and it just doesn't let me do anything. Like when I shoot someone it like goes through them or something. Like it would take me out of the immersion. So if there's rules against killing, I think I should still be able to. They're just repercussions basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that also will like mess with the game itself. You know, people should still be able to do anything, but have penalties or bounties or something like that.
Yeah. It's like real life. You can do anything, but there's penalties.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good way to see it. That's a good way to see it. Let's see. How will regional DAO vote? That's interesting. Jose, do we have anything on that yet?
Yeah, the way that I see this is that right now we have police voting power, right? And the way that it will function is that if you want to be part of a regional DAO, first you need to have land on that region, and second, you need to lock your police voting power in that region for amount of time, pretty much like we have with the Star Atlas DAO. Of course, this system can change, it's subject to development, but if you want to participate in the political gameplay of a region, you need skin in the game, yeah, like a claim stake, Gazinor. And you need to leave your polis locked there for your influence. So you won't be able to keep moving your polis across different star systems. So you vote on one place and then you go and vote in the other. No, it will need to be locked to some time. So it represents you consolidating your influence and political power inside the region. But this is still open to debate internally, and it's a little far away, to be honest. So we are still working on that, thinking about how it's going to work. But this is the more or less the idea.
Cool. Thank you, Jose. Thank you, sir. I'm checking the chat. Do you see any question, Jose, that you would like to discuss?
Let's see.
Also, guys, feel free to unmute if you have something. Always.
Yeah, something important that Winston just said, that the Star Atlas Constitution will give a framework to how everything's going to work, or at least some visibility on what are our thoughts on the structure and functioning of the DAO. Krieg's asked a very good question.
Yeah,
What
that's
are
a
you?
difficult one.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on the amount of police needed to control a system? Oh man, the noise started again. So yeah, in my
We
vision,
don't hear you, Jose, by the way.
oh,
We don't hear
awesome.
you, so
Yeah,
yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah,
Wouldn't there not be like like I would prefer there not be like a set amount. Like it's whoever. Like there's war. Like if there's two people who want like a system or something, wouldn't they go to war and or have like a vote off? Or how would you see that, Jose? I actually am interested.
yeah. In my mind, it's something like this. For example, every region should have a minimum policy staked to start the political gameplay inside that region. Like, let's say every region should have at least uh, 10,000 police taken to start the political game. And whoever gets the majority of that pool, it will be the one being the governor. Like the individual player, let's say that has the majority, will be the governor, and the governors will have some actions that they can take on their own, but they will also have some actions that require them to pass a vote through the DAO. You know, this is how I envision this so far. But since we are still miles away from the regional DAO gameplay aspect of Polis, we are certainly getting feedback from community and willing to listen to ideas on that topic for sure.
For sure. For sure, for sure. And I also see people from the DAO team listening. So, guys, it's not even the notes at this point, it's also right now. They are listening to you. So, that is awesome. Checking the chat.
Yeah, something like an elected president for the region, maybe something like that. And the voters of the region will choose the governor for a period of time, and every X months or I don't know, the DAO votes again on the leadership and things like that, so we can have power changing hands if people are not performing well.
So Dom mentioned this earlier. He said that you could like fight over regions, but that means interfactional warfare, and I didn't think we could do that.
This is a great question, actually. For example, right now there is no such a thing because the factions are in a peaceful relationship with one another. But if this peaceful relationship ends, I guess it will be possible to take over territories from other people. And then we need to discuss what happens with the leadership of the regional DAOs. Like it moves from my understanding, the regional DAO would still exist, but the funding, the tax, the revenue that it generates to the faction would change hands to the other faction. Or something like that, among those lines.
Oh man, this is a very interesting conversation, man. I feel like we could continue for hours here.
Yeah, man, this is one of the most interesting gameplays of Star Atlas. And remember, guys, that this everything that we are discussing right now, it's going to be a career inside the game. So you will start as a fameless politician in the regional DAO and farm your way all the way to the faction senate or something like that, even the council of peace, seats of power, trying to create a career for yourself. So yeah, we are going to develop those gameplay loops and have players that are interested in this kind of gameplay and activity to have really meaningful loops and exchange with other players. So yeah, it's going to be very fun to be a politician in Star Atlas.
For sure, definitely one of the most interesting careers by far, I think. And I can, again, like I can't wait for a brew where like we're in the middle of council elections and we can get like a debate or something like that going on, between the main candidates, where we ask questions on how they will do certain things. Man, that's going to be a lot of fun.
And imagine that like the candidates are discussing and then someone backs in and say, hey man, if you guys vote for that person, I'm going to take my Titan ship and park it outside of our star system. No one gets in, no one gets out. GG.
There's going to be things like that,
Man, imagine that, man. That would be freaking awesome, man. I'll die laughing and seeing people going crazy on Discord and rebellions and riots going all over Star Atlas world. This would be super awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I can't wait for that, honestly. Can't wait. Yeah, we'll get the hologram asking the questions, as Kriegs is saying. Debate moderated by Kriegs and the Hologram News Network. I think it's fair. Why not? We can do that. But
Yeah,
just
it would be
just
super fun.
we still need to get our questions in, right? Since we
Oh
can't
man.
participate in the DAO game, like we can, but we can't probably run for council if we're part of the team, I guess. I want to at least be able to ask some questions.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you, bro. We'll make those guys accountable for their opinions and we'll be pushing them to keep the Star Atlas world uh, safe. Let's say it like that for sure. We have this mission.
Yeah. We'll try. We'll try. It's going to
We'll
be hard.
try. But it's going to be super fun, man.
Awesome. So we have 2 minutes left. Anyone else wants to get something in? Any other questions or anything? Reading the chat right now. I see several people typing.
Gasnor ceiling PvP. Shame
Selling
on
poll
you,
is voting
Gasnor.
power. We had a brew around that. Selling
Yeah.
poll is voting power. Oh man, corruption. Corruption is going to be a thing. Do you think corruption is going to be high? Just
For
in
sure, man.
yeah.
Man, Gasnor is saying right out on the brew chat that he's selling his PvP, bro.
Well, he
I'd
literally
take
just put
bribes.
I'll take bribes. Oh my god.
I wore out my PvP for the high guys buyer. Awesome, Bear. Proud of you.
Well, so I see like, and no one is against that. Oh my
Yeah,
god. Stick
awesome.
literally posted, I'm full on
Congratulations.
corrupt.
That's our
Politics
mod, ladies
101.
and gentlemen. That's
That's
our
our
mod.
mod.
That's our mod
Congratulations,
stick.
Steve.
We're proud of him, guys.
Got proud of you guys. This is Star Atlas.
Awesome. Cool. All right, guys. I guess that's a good way to close it, right? How
Yeah.
is corruption going to be? I think that's also like another topic.
Yeah,
We can
maybe we can
discuss in the
talk. We
future.
can make a whole brew about corruption in Star
Oh
Atlas.
man,
How
yeah.
to fight corruption in Star Atlas.
Yeah, how corruption works and how we can fight it, or should we allow it inside Star Atlas? I think this is going to be a very cool brew.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right, guys. Thank you for joining the Brew 58. I think it was one of the greatest discussions that we had. Yeah, in the
Yeah,
brew.
it was super fun.
Yeah. Groove. We'll get. I promise we can get one similar brew to this one, so we can get on the questions that we couldn't get yet. But yeah, this was a great brew, guys. We'll see everyone else on Wednesday at the same time next week. And yeah, thank you for joining, guys. Very interesting conversations. Thank you for coming, and to all of you who engaged. We love reading the chat. We love chatting with you. Um, I don't know. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I can't wait until we have the DAO gameplay and the politics gameplay live. Even though you could say it is live now. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. Any closing thoughts, Jose?
No. Thank you, everyone. It was super fun. I appreciate participation on Star Atlas Politics. And yeah, remember that claim stakes are coming. And yeah, it's going to be a good season for us, guys.
Yeah,
Just keep it steady.
yeah. Once we start, guys, it's going to be an intense end of the year. From now till the end of the year. Dominic, any closing thoughts, my friend?
Closing thoughts from me. Let's see. It's been a hell of a week. Appreciate everyone joining the brews day in day out. Everyone comes in every week. Really do appreciate it, and everyone just chats, and it really is heartwarming. So I really like having the discussions. Today's discussion was awesome too, and don't forget claim stakes enlistment today. It's gonna be a good time. Get your resources, and that's it. Ciao.
Awesome, guys. Thank you for joining the brew number 58. And thank you so much for engaging and just joining, guys. We love you all, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be really fun. Okay, guys. Bye bye. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, everyone. See you.
See you next Wednesday at the same time. Bye bye.